I would like to begin by asking the question, name one thing that we see every day. Some of them are big, some of them are small. They come in different shapes, they come in different sizes, colors, and they're usually found on the ground. Can we make a guess? If you guessed rocks, you're correct. Today we're going to talk about the 3 different types of rocks, where they are found, what they look like, and the rock cycle. Let's first begin by discussing what are rocks. Rocks have been around for over 4 billion years. Most of the rocks that we see are made of minerals. All rocks are different, and each rock has its own story to tell. The first type of rock that we're going to talk about is the igneous rocks. They are named after the Latin word for fire, ignis. All rocks begin as igneous rocks. These rocks are formed from molten magma. These rocks form when magma is cooled and crystallized. The crystallization process can take place above ground or below ground. These rocks are found near volcanoes since they are formed from magma that is cooled after a volcano erupts. This is a popular sculpture that most of us have probably seen. This is Mount Rushmore, which is located near Keystone, South Dakota. Mount Rushmore was carved from an igneous rock, the most popular form that most of us see today, which is granite. The next type of rock that we are going to discuss is metamorphic rocks. These rocks are formed when they have been changed due to heat and pressure. Metamorphic rocks make up the large part of the Earth's crust. Some examples of metamorphic rocks are marble, slate, and quartz. These rocks are found at the base of mountains and where plutonic intrusions have invaded. Usually, these types of rocks are found deep underground. Here is an example of a metamorphic rock that has been formed. The last type of rock that we are going to discuss is the sedimentary rock. These rocks are formed from pieces of other rocks that have formed from one rock. This process is caused by weathering. Weathering breaks the rock into smaller pieces or sediments. Erosion is a common form of weathering which forms sedimentary rocks. Some common types of sedimentary rocks are shale, sandstone, and limestone. These are the 3 most common that we see around us on a daily basis. Here is an example of how weathering can change a sedimentary rock. Now we are going to discuss the cycle of a rock. The rock cycle is connected by arrows, which explain the process of the cycle of a rock. The arrows point from one rock form to a new form that it can become over time. The Earth uses this process to recycle rocks. To recap, igneous rocks are formed from hot, fiery, molten magma. Metamorphic rocks form under heat and pressure, and sedimentary rocks are formed by weathering. So to recap, let's take a little quiz. What type of rock is formed when molten rock cools and solidifies? If you guessed igneous rock, you're correct. Next question. Sandstone is a type of which rock? That's correct. Sedimentary rocks. When heat and pressure cause a rock to change, this type of rock is formed. Yep, that's right. Metamorphic rocks. And last but not least, when a river carries away rock particles, this is known as the process of, good job, erosion. Thanks again for taking the rock cycle journey with us. I hope you all have learned some valuable information about the 3 most common forms of rocks that we see on our Earth and in our own backyard.